Please welcome Dan Crohn.
All right. Thanks, it's a dream come true. All right, thank you guys for being here. This is great. Beverly, Massachusetts, just how I planned it. Level of excitement, I like that. It's like I've been CC'd in an email. Let's party here, yeah? I want this to feel good. I want this to feel like that little easy pass area when you cross it with no lanes. It's like Mad Max, anything goes, no rules. Let's have a good time, all right? All right, exciting, yeah. Thank you guys for being here. This is great. I've been traveling. I just took Spirit Airlines for the first time. Anybody ever taken this shit show? Imagine the Maury Povich show at 31,000 feet. You are not the pilot. $20 to get my bag back from baggage claim? That's excessive, right? The flight attendant comes up to me. She's like, "You got any food?" Had a gig down in Nantucket, took my first puddle jumper, one of these 10-seaters, just me and the pilot. He told me to put my phone in airplane mode, and this time I fucking listened. That's right. It's just you and the pilot. You're waiting for that whole safety routine like a normal flight. It's very different. It's just you and the pilot. It's just him doing this. All right, here's the deal. If we go down, my bad. All right. I don't even fit in those planes. I'm very tall. I don't fall correctly. You guys ever seen a tall person fall before? It's distracting. It's a scene, an ordeal. I fell the other day. It took me 90 seconds. Yeah. Short people, you have it so easy. It's like, boom, I'm down, instant. Tall people, we fall in threes. It's crazy. It's like bump, bump, bump. Picture a triangle falling down the stairs. Elbows and knees. I'm taking everybody out. Short people, you're just better looking because there's less of you. Oh, did I piss any short people off? I can't even see you. You're invisible to me. But don't worry, these jokes will be over soon. They're short jokes. Kill me. I love it when a short person hooks up with another short person, like they find each other under the stairs. And people assume tall people are more successful. That is not accurate at all, at all. I'm good for things. I can get that lone balloon that's gone rogue at a birthday party, sure. There's a Portuguese couple at the grocery store the other day. They couldn't reach the milk on the top shelf, and I saved their lives and the lives of their children. What I'm trying to tell you is the work I do is really important. All right, good. Good, nice group here. No heckling. I like that. I've heard all the heckles. I was in a show the other night, about 100 people in the room. 4 people hated me. So on stage, I go, "Man, there are 4 people that hate me right now." And this guy yells out, "There's more than 4. That's not even the worst heckle I've ever gotten. One time I was telling jokes, and this guy yelled out, "You're better than this." That'll keep you up all night, folks, all night. Comedy audiences are so weird right now because comedy's so popular, and a lot of people go to see it because they want to see what all the fuss is about, and they see it on TikTok. And I can say TikTok, and you guys know what that is, right? Okay. There's a couple older people here who are like, "Shit, we don't have much time left." But they want to see comedy for all the wrong reasons. They want to see crowd work and heckling, and do you think I'm going to ask you guys questions and you're going to be able to answer and screw up my whole routine? Honestly, I'm too self-absorbed to do any crowd work. I don't want to know you or what you do. This is about me. What do I do? Where am I from? What's my favorite sexual position? All right, that's not a question that we asked, but it's missionary, but I'm asleep on top of you. And yeah, and the young kids, it's crazy, right? They're the source of my depression. It's like watching all their comments and transactions on Venmo. They're all so cute on there, huh? Brunch on a Tuesday? I hope you die, honestly. I did a show, they're like, "We can pay you in Venmo." I go, "How about PayPal?" They're like, "What are you, 90? No, that's not how this works. By the way, PayPal owns Venmo. I looked it up for the joke. We're commenting on financial transactions amongst our peers? That's crazy, right? 20 years ago, your friend was like, "Here's $5 for that pizza." But you didn't have another friend coming over like, "I saw you guys give each other $5 for that pizza. That was really cool. I love it. I love it with all my heart." All right. I don't know. I'm getting old. You know you're getting old when you walk around with your cell phone like this. "What's up? What's going on? What happened? What? My light's on? No, I walked here. What? Oh, okay. All right. Go." Just turned 40. 5. This joke's 5 years old. Oh. God help me. Nobody's asking me about my future plans as much. Dan, where do you see yourself in 10? Oh, you're 45? What's up for the weekend? The older you get, the more you look at other people's food at restaurants while you're eating your own food. Mid-bite, you could be like, I know, this is great. What was that? Did you guys see that? What was that? We should have got that. I don't even want this. Right? I don't know. Yeah, I know I'm getting older because my parents are coming to terms. They might not have grandkids because I'm old. My brother's gay, so my brother bought a dog, and now my mom is buying dog stuff for their house in anticipation of the dog's first visit. And they turned my bedroom into a dog gender reveal party with a piñata, and the piñata's a dog, which is a little off-putting, but I brought over a baby piñata. That was frowned upon. All right. I met my brother's boyfriend for the first time. He's Filipino. My brother's white, so their kids are going to be adopted. And when my brother came out to me, I had this like sibling rivalry thing. I needed to come out to him with something from my life, which is so pathetic. He's telling the most amazing story. He finally feels comfortable in himself. He goes, Dan, I'm gay. I go, I smoke weed. And those two things are not the same. I was born this way, but yeah, I got my pot card, which is fantastic. Yeah, the card's great for chopping up coke. And now without an Uber, I'm untouchable. But anyway, yeah, I got it from the doctor. The doctor. It wasn't that serious. He had an earring. And he's like, what's up, man? He said, man. I'm like, what kind of doctor is this? Where are your credentials? All I see in these walls are Snoop Dogg posters. He told me to take a picture for the card. I gotta say, he says, go home, take a selfie. You know what? I don't want my doctor using the word selfie. I don't know how you feel about that, right? Where's this relationship gonna go? I'd like to recommend a colonoscopy. Boy! My mom got a pot card. I was driving her to the dispensary. 25 years ago, she pulled me out of Mike Lanzana's party because they had a joint there. Now I'm driving her to the dispensary. Isn't it funny how life comes full circle like that, right? I got a free eighth for referral. Just the smokers left on that one. All right. For all you squares, an eighth can mean parsley or sage. Get cool or something. I don't know. My mom's great. My mom's always bringing up people from my past from 30 years ago and then expecting that I know who she's talking about. I don't know if your parents do this with you. 30 years ago? No way. Daniel, do you remember Brenda Watson? Do you remember her? She had like a red hat. Like, what? That's not helping me at all, Bob. Sorry. You remember her son Dylan? He had difficulties. He would play with him, and sometimes we'd get coffee. She'd pick you up sometimes. Anyway, she died. Like all that for nothing, right? My mom's always trying to give me trinkets from my past whenever I visit her. With each visit, she's slowly siphoning all my old possessions to me. Like the dishes I used when I was 2. Why the hell would I need those, right? She's trying to give me framed baby pictures of me. Where am I supposed to put those in my apartment? How awkward is that with company, right? Here's me in 4th grade. Here's me in 5th. And 5th again, I get held back. I was a dumb kid. I had ADD. My mom would give me Ritalin, but I wouldn't take it. I would sell it to Eurotrash my freshman year of college. I made a fortune. I'd have to get refills from my mom. She's like, you were going through this. Like, I'm studying my ass off. Check out my new watch. All right? Yeah. Those are awkward times. I was a loser. I was the only one that got the laser beam background in my class picture. Anybody else born in my age bracket that would get that reference? You pay a little extra for it, right? It's lasers. Back in '89, lasers were expensive. That's right. Do you remember the poses we did on picture day? The picture poses? This one? You want to look real cool like that. It never did. It always came out half-assed. It's always like... I could do that for another 20 minutes, but I got jokes. Senior quote. You wait your whole high school career to get that senior quote in your yearbook, yeah? They messed mine up with this gang member named Jamal. He got a Rolling Stones quote. I got what up to my homies from the high street housing projects. They messed up my brother's quote, too. His was the Shawshank Redemption quote. Get busy living, get busy dying. His would get busy living, get busy lying, which is great because he's a lawyer. But here's what it was like for me growing up. Maybe you can relate to this. Remember your friends said they're going to pick you up for that big night out, and they're going to pick you up at 8, but they don't come till like 9. But you've been waiting by the window with your jacket on since 7:45. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Did anybody ever run away or threaten to run away? I did when I was little. I didn't run far. I ran across the street. I hid behind a bush for like 4 hours. Nobody even came to look for me. But even my dad's like, where's he gonna go? He's a loser. Pack my bags. I put some G.I. Joes, some Legos in there. I'm like, this will last me a couple days, right? I miss those days growing up, right? Splinters. You guys remember Splinters? Do you remember your mom would have to get it out of you immediately or it'd become you? Or you get it from playing on decaying playground equipment? It's all plastic now. Not in my day. Tree bark and cold steel, folks. That's right. That wobbly bridge that if you ran too fast, one leg would go down, you'd knee yourself in the face. Sure. And the balance beam to take you to the slide. It wasn't a slide. It was a piece of sheet metal at a 45-degree angle. Made a sound of thunder when you went down it, right? God forbid you go down in the summer. It was like a frying pan. You'd have to wear jeans in the summer just to go down the slide. The slide went directly into the ground. That nice little area of sand for you to slide into for your comfort? Nope, there was always an exposed root of a nearby tree that would brace your fall. That's where you'd get the splinter. All right, nice group here, love it. Thank you guys, nice. Good stuff. Comedy has been so fun the last year, and we had a long time off because of the thing.
The thing.
I call the pandemic the thing, that's right. In that first wave, I went 142 days without telling jokes. I do this, I love this more than life itself. I do it every night because I'm single. And I wanted my first gig back to be something like outdoors, low risk, and I got it. My first gig back after 142 days off was an RV campground in New Hampshire. I stood in the middle of a field while the entire audience surrounded me in golf carts. Low risk, people. No, I mean low-risk people. All right, I'm sorry. I'm the last act. The night's getting long. I needed additional lighting from the golf carts and this old guy. You know the old guy? He's part of the group. He thinks he's the captain, but nobody really cares what he has to say. Like, you ever see the old guy on the side of the road waving in traffic like that's his responsibility? Like, go inside, Pops. That's not your job. But I go, hey, how about you guys turn on those lights? And the old guy looks at everyone and he goes, turn them on. And then nobody listened to him. It was fantastic. I did my first drive-in movie theater gig, which was pretty cool. We had 400 cars. The other comic said, honk if you've had COVID. And there were so many cars that were honking. I was backstage, well protected, in my own trailer, because I'm in show business. But I thought about that nervous couple, the first thing they've ever done in the pandemic. They thought they made the right decision sitting in their car, and then suddenly the horns of Corona sound their impending doom. It's been a weird couple of years, guys. Are we still pulling down the monuments? Because I took down Ronald McDonald the other day. Nobody said anything, honestly. You can tell my sanity in the pandemic from my Amazon purchase history. When that whole thing started, I bought a survivalist radio. It's got a hand crank. It's solar powered in case the grid goes down. Last week, I bought tiramisu Oreos. This is over, I think, right? A lot of pandemic purchases, right? I bought a gun, thermometer gun, and it's got a scope and a silencer. I'm on my front porch like 98 degrees. I hate them. All right. And I was wearing my mask, nothing else. The masks were weird. You know what was even weirder? The breathing faces we made underneath the masks. Not natural. If you took the mask away, I was walking down the street like... And now we don't have to wear the mask so everybody knows that I talk to myself. I'm not into it. Condom shortage in the pandemic? Yeah, I have them all in a box in my closet on my rainy day. I'm just kidding, I don't use boxes, but and astrology lovers, where were you in the whole pandemic, huh? Nothing in the stars about what we just went through, right? What's the vaccine eligibility for Capricorns? Doesn't exist, sorry. Were you getting subtle hints in your horoscopes in January 2020 that this was all gonna go down? Like, new professional development opportunities might come in an interesting way? Hope you like puzzles and masturbating. All right. I live alone. Like, the most action I've gotten in the last 3 years is my cell phone slid down the couch cushion and touched my inner thigh. That's third base in the quarantine, if you can remember. You ever roll over on a cold cell phone in the night? Oh, baby. I got the vaccine just to feel something. I'm not going to lie. I did end up getting COVID. I had it in a... You know what? I'm not going to tell you when I had it. Let's keep you on your toes. That's more fun for me. Did anybody else get it in the ninth inning when they said this is all supposed to be over, right? Yeah. If you told me 3 years ago I'd have to go through the whole pandemic and then get COVID, I would have just taken my life right after Tiger King. That's right. I thought I was immune because I read an article that said if you smoke weed every day, that you wouldn't get it. I didn't read it, I skimmed it, and I bought some Pfizer Kush and a Fauci bong. I said, let's party here, all right. I wanted it, and I know that sounds strange, but I struggle with health anxiety, so I wanted to see what it was going to be like when it was my time, if that makes any sense, right? Like through that first wave, I never thought I had COVID, just everything else. If I kept track of all the things I thought I had, it was enough to fill the New England Journal of Medicine, which I've read. I Google symptoms, I Bing symptoms, I'm asking Jeeves. It's a mess, folks, that's right. I need answers immediately. I slam my elbow into a door, and I Googled, did I just slam my elbow into a door? I killed a really weird looking bug, and then I Googled, do I have murder hornets? I don't, I have syphilis. But I Google symptoms so much, I dream about Googling symptoms. That's how bad it is. I dreamt I grew a dick on the side of my knee. An exact replica of my own dick above average. And I started Googling knee penis in the dream, and stuff was coming up. I'm like, look at this is a thing. Apparently I have this, no balls, but and I absorb other people's symptoms. When you're telling me what you're going through, like your ailments, I'm like, could that happen to me? Could I get married? Okay. Yeah. I love in the pandemic that we doubled back on all the environmental concerns. Do you guys remember that? We went back to the plastic bags at the grocery stores, right? I don't feel comfortable with those recycled used bags. You know what I'm talking about? Like I'm supposed to bring in like some kind of loser. Women, you have no problem bringing these bags in. I don't know why, as a guy, I feel weird about, like, these are my bags, my empty bags. I'm supposed to fill up those bags with produce like I'm some kind of fleeing refugee? I don't want to be involved in that, right? And the other thing we double back is the bike lane. Nah, we need that for outdoor seating for restaurants. Sorry, nerds. Tearing our streets apart, right? There's a plaque in the arteries of my city. And that plaque is healthy people that care about the environment. What I'm trying to tell you is that I never learned how to ride a bike. And this is I've decided to tell everybody. I'm trying to be more vulnerable with my stand-up. I'd be the best arch nemesis in the bike lane movie because of my origin story. He never learned how to ride a bike. He hated them. He drove with his passenger side door open and knocked them all over. I can ride an exercise bike. I know how to do that. You don't have to wear a helmet, but I still do. All right. I support the environment. I get high and I watch Blue Planet. Anybody else? Yeah. So watching that cuttlefish mating. You know if you've gotten laid in a while and watching two cuttlefish bang and you're like, man, everybody's got somebody. Cuttlefish just hits it and swims away. I'm like, look at this guy. He's like a champion. There's no back and forth text exchange. He's not texting, you seem distant. He's not texting back, well, it is the ocean. All right. I don't care about the war on straws. You guys know about the war on straws? I'm stockpiling all my straws right now. Bandable straws, curvy straws, those penis straws from bachelorette parties. You know what I'm talking about, right? Strawmageddon is here, folks. Get ready for it. I mean, this is the last straw. All right, I'm sorry. That's so stupid. I mean, I'm just grasping at straws. Fuck you, I'm finishing the joke. Like when you're a kid, after the nipple in the sippy cup, what are you gonna use? Straws. I still love nipples, but they're getting rid of the plastic. You guys know, right? Yeah, it's terrible. Do you know about that big island of plastic in the Pacific? It's like twice the size of Texas, half the racism. I was talking to my brother about it. I was like, why don't they just shoot all that shit into space? He goes, actually, space is really cluttered right now. Space is really cluttered right now. It's called space. They have the room. They have the space. There's always two nerds at every show when I say space is really cluttered right now that do this. That's true. Nerds. I just worked my first cruise ship where comedians go to die, and I saw a lot of questionable parenting techniques while I was aboard. This guy looked at his son, he goes, if you keep acting like that, you're gonna get a left and a right. I was like, let's not expose this kid to the two political parties right now. He can't handle it, I'm sorry. We were leaving the boat. It's a whole procedure. It's called disembarkation, which is not removing a dog's vocal cords. I'm okay with that joke, that's all that matters, but a woman looked at her 7-year-old and she goes, do you want us to leave you on this boat? And I looked at the 7-year-old's gears working in his brain. He was like, yeah. Leave me on this boat, Mom. There's 7 swimming pools and your cooking sucks. How did everybody celebrate January 6th? That's just a joke, everybody. Don't worry about that one. All right. I stormed in my kitchen. Nobody was there. Raided the fridge. It was uneventful. This is true. When the Capitol was getting stormed, I was doing a corporate Zoom comedy show for doctors at Mass General while it was happening. I had to entertain 200 doctors, and before I'm introduced, the head doctor wants to jump on the Zoom and acknowledge what's going on in Washington. I don't know if you guys are watching the news right now. It's just terrible. I think everybody needs to turn on the TV. I know we have a Zoom comedy show planned, but I think this is very important. We have a lot of friends down in Washington. I don't know how we're going to get through this. It's just been a terrible year with COVID. And now please welcome Dan Crohn. And then I ripped it, but I like Zoom comedy because they paid me. And people, oh, you look so good. Did you buy one of those ring lights? No, it was my seasonal affective disorder lamp that I was using for all my Zoom shows. Do you guys know what a SAD lamp is? It stands for suck it up and deal. That's right. I'm big into self-care. I think everybody should be. You guys are. We're a comedy show, drinking, right? That counts, right? Yeah, sure. I've been really working on myself in the shower. And I meditate, I manscape. You don't know how I relax, but I do a once-a-month massage. I just had one. I couldn't relax because the masseuse, her stomach was rumbling through the whole experience. I had to come up with a mantra to relax myself. Every time it rumbled, I was like, I'm hungry too. You can't even get a massage now. People are always wondering what's going to happen after. How about relaxation? How about that, right? Like, I've never been with a prostitute, but I was working a club in Reno, Nevada, and me and my buddy went to a brothel to take a tour, just a tour. And I wanted to see where they pick from the row of prostitutes. I thought that would be really fun to watch. This little Asian businessman goes, you? And the woman goes, me? And he goes, no, 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 you. Could have been the most degrading thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, this poor whore. I fell for her, literally. I tried to feel her with my hands for free. And then we got out of there. I can't pay for sex, plus it was really expensive, but Yeah, so I meditate. I've been meditating 9 years. I do transcendental meditation, changed my life. I can now look at a sunset and just forget about all the people that I've wronged. And I used to be so obsessive about being on time. That was a big part of my OCD, and now I meditate and I'm late constantly, but namaste. So late people were like, that's your thing? You're here. I saw you walk in late. Where you set your clock like 12 minutes ahead, and that really screws my OCD up. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't know why. I just can't get it together. How about you fix that, okay? Give me an excuse. Tell me like you just came from surgery. Don't tell me you just beat Candyland or something stupid like that, right? I do have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. I don't agree with the disorder part, though, folks. It's all order. It's total order. Everything is in order. I'm obsessed with it. It's a compulsion, really, but I don't think it's OCD. They say the 3 things that people with OCD do, and I don't agree with this either, is that we repeatedly lock the doors, that's safety, wash our hands, that's germs, and count stuff, that's just fun. There's 72 people here. I counted. 71. Somebody just went to the bathroom. I do weird things, though. Like, before I leave the house, I have to touch myself. And better I do it indoors than outside. I pride myself in never ever losing anything because I'm so obsessive. So if I do lose something, it's pretty catastrophic. I lost a towel doing laundry in my own home. I have a washer and dryer, ladies. And you lose something small like a phone, it sucks, but you can kind of rationalize it. If you lose something big and obtuse like a towel, it screws your life right up. I try to retrace my steps. I'm like, all right, I woke up, did laundry. So what happened there? From my journey from the bed to the washer and dryer. It was attached to a comforter. No big ending there, but comedy's an art form. Anyway, laziness, I think, is a form of self-care, I tell myself, right? Here's how lazy I am. Maybe you can relate to this. I own an electronic toothbrush, but I also own a regular toothbrush that sometimes I use when I'm too lazy to use my electronic toothbrush. Does that make any sense? That sometimes I walk in the bathroom and I look at that thing and I'm like, not today. You know, sometimes I want to go acoustic, get back to my roots, right? That's like she owns a vibrator, but maybe she'll have sex with me instead. Is that what it's like? Please don't answer that. Actually, I don't want to know that. What else do? I do online therapy. Hey, should I drop my therapist if I've been talking to her on Zoom and I can see she's looking down at her phone? It's covered with health insurance, so I just look down at my phone, but then sometimes I text her, look up. I remember the first time I went into therapy, I overthink everything. She's like, do you want the couch or the chair? I was like, I hate my parents. Oh, you guys took that literally. Relax, everybody. My parents are fine. They're on season 7 of CNN. Anyway. My therapist, she brought a therapy dog in, like she needed backup. That's how messed up I am. The dog didn't even do anything. He just sat on the couch with me. I was like, you're doing nothing for me, buddy. But then I pet the dog in the head, and the dog looked at me and said, that'll be $125. I'm an overthinker. That's my curse. Overthinkers, we get a bad rap. Nobody talks about underthinkers. Oh, he just doesn't have enough thoughts. He's thoughtless. He's without thought. Overthinking is great because eventually one of my many thoughts is going to be the right one. That's what I'm banking on, right? And I'm just grasping at thoughts. I don't know what's wrong and what's right. Should I go back to school? Maybe I should invest more. Another hot dog? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Apparently not, though. You guys see the studies on hot dogs? That every hot dog you eat takes 35 minutes off your life? Listen, I don't trust the science. It seems rushed. I'm just going to do my own research. What about pigs in a blanket? What are those around, huh? What if I have 50 of them? I love saying pigs in a blanket because I can always see a couple audience members doing this. I love those. They were conducting these studies in the middle of a pandemic. We have the resources of this. That's crazy, right? Bob, give me the reports about the effect of antibody treatments on my desk by noon. Carol, find out the connection by the high positivity rates and kids going back to school. Bill, what are you working on? Hot dog, sir. Guys, when this pandemic is over next weekend, can we bring back the menus? Why was that a casualty of the pandemic, right? It was like elderly people and then menus. There's a menu shortage. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. A lot of things are screwed up right now. We got a menu shortage, baby formula shortage, women's reproductive rights shortage. Things are crazy right now. Because of inflation, really expensive restaurants can't afford to reproduce their menus every week. But what does that say about poor restaurants and their access to menus? I just think that all restaurants should have the choice if they want menus or not. I'm pro menus. All right. Trying to get laid. Anyway. I just like a menu in my hand. That's what we're used to, right? The old days? The old days was 3 years ago, by the way. I think that stems from the original menu, the 10 Commandments. I don't think Moses looked at God and God was like, did you download the QR code, buddy? Like, I can't help you here, huh? I like telling the waitress that I'm not allowed to take out my phone at dinner, and it's just me sitting there by myself. I don't want to take out my phone. I waste so much time on my phone, and now I know how much time I waste on my phone because of every Sunday. That's right. Screen time report. That's right. iPhone users, you're with me. Droid users, how about you get a fucking iPhone and stop screwing up our group text with your green bubbles? How about that, huh? Screen time report, at least tell me I'm pretty first. Something like that, right? I think out loud I've been like, not now, screen time report. I can't handle it. Internet addiction is horrible. I was reading an article about internet addiction on the internet, and it's addictive, apparently, but oh, it's awful. We can't communicate correctly, right? Like my mom just had the biopsy of her thyroid. It came back negative. How did she tell us the good news? Did she call us? No. Text message? Not that either. Facebook? You're wrong. The chat feature of Words with Friends, people. I responded back with excellent. I got the triple word score. Yeah. And emojis? This is how we're communicating? Here's the one I hate the most. Sorry I hooked up with your best friend. Sorry you broke both of your arms. Mine are just fine. I don't want to see your hospital bed selfies. Do you know what I'm talking about? Hospital bed selfies? How sick can you possibly be if you're like... I love a TV show that you can watch and still look at your phone. How depressing is everything right now? It's terrible, right? Mine is To Catch a Smuggler. I love this show. They bust people with the board with drugs. I love it. It's so great. But it's so interesting when you pay attention to what you're watching and when you choose to look up from your phone, like what triggers that. Like, miss, how many balloons of heroin do you have in your vagina? Don't go viral. If you're doing something stupid and you don't want to go viral, somebody's aiming their phone at you, you know what you do is you sing a Disney song. Disney is adamant about getting their clips taken off. They have a whole team that does it immediately, right? I was stealing this baby the other day, and this guy was like, hey man, stop stealing that baby. I was like, it's a circle of life. I'm old. I grew up in a time, BC, before cell phones, when we would go to like the movies, and if like one of our friends didn't show up, we just assumed they died. All right. Instagram stories, that's ruining our short-term memories, right? We're not meant to know what 50 people just did in under 20 seconds. That's crazy, right? It's a synapse, though. We're addicted to it. That little button, you want to press it and escape your life, right? Zzz, my friend's eating a sandwich. Zzz, my cousin's in Utah. Zzz, Chris Rock's in Italy. Like, you shouldn't know about that stuff. People are like, what'd you do the other night? I'm like, I don't know. I think I was with Chris Rock in Italy, honestly. If you want to creep somebody out on Instagram, like an old picture of them. Dan Crohn likes this. You like this? Yeah, I like this. You want to creep somebody out even more? Comment on somebody's picture on Instagram you don't know and just write, I love this one of you. My last name is Crohn, so I get added a lot on social media where people who think I have something to do with Crohn's disease, and I don't have anything to do with it. I apologize. This kid started following me, and I looked at his page, and it said, living with Crohn's since September 11th, 2001. The day it happened, he got the diagnosis. Like the buildings were falling, he's in the bathroom like, I got problems of my own here. Dude, get out of me. People are dying. I can give a shit. Actually, I can't give a shit. That's like the whole problem. Maybe you shit too much. I should look it up. I'm not going to. But, and because of our phones, we react to things differently. Like, nobody thinks about this. Because of your phone now, when we're driving, we now dread green lights. It's a little messed up. I'm going to explain. You want to pick up your phone, you want to check your text, and you can't wait to stop the car at the red light. You guys remember red lights being an issue a couple years ago, right? Sure. I'm trying to text my friend. I'm like, I'll text her right here at this red light. Oh, shit, it's a green light. How about this one? Oh, this is a green light, too. Oh, great, they're all going to be green. All the lights are going to be green. It's just going to be smooth sailing for my entire drive. What an inconvenience. I'm trying to text my friend. I'm running late to his house. And I just got to where I was going quicker because of all the green lights. All right, very good. And I don't recognize anybody because I think we have too much access to people. Like 20 years ago, you'd have 10, 20 people in your wheelhouse. Now it's like 50 to 70. And let's be honest, most of these people, not that great, right? My name recognition software is all haywire. I don't know anybody's name now, so I think there should be a face Shazam app that you have on your phone. If you don't know who's standing in front of you, just aim your phone right at them and it links with your Facebook. You're like, oh my God, it's Rudy Giuliani. All right, crazy. I had a gig in Manchester, New Hampshire. It was an outdoor barbecue for an 80-year-old birthday party. 15 people with no microphone. My career is skyrocketing right now. And there was a guy in the audience. He looked just like Rudy Giuliani. And it was Rudy Giuliani. And I took a picture of him and I put it in my Instagram stories, and people give me a hard time because I'm smiling in the picture with my arm around him, my hand down his pants. And, you know, that's what I do. I take a picture with people, I smile, right? Like, I'm Jewish, I take a picture with Hitler, I probably still smile. I don't want to frown because then it looks like me and Hitler are in the same band. You know, that's freaky. But what was really funny is that Trump said that that weekend Giuliani was in the hospital with a heart condition, but he was not. He was at the Red Sox-Yankees game and then at my show in Manchester, New Hampshire. And I got him a hot dog. And he follows me on Instagram, but I didn't follow him back because I'm part of the solution. So my dad's like, follow him back. You'll get some work out of it or something. My dad, he's always trying to take credit for advice he's never given me by saying, see? I'm like, Dad, I found this great way to get home. It cut like 10 minutes off my commute. See? But he never gave me that advice. I don't think he's listening. I try to test him. I'm like, oh, I started taking that fiber supplement and that Matchbox car came right out. See? He just retired. My dad just retired. He gave me his car, and I said no to it because it's a luxury automobile, and I get paid in like food sometimes. Not tonight. I'm going hungry again. But it rhymes with a Lexus. I don't know where to park it. It's so weird when somebody gives you a gift and that becomes your net worth. I thought my net worth was this Dyson vacuum cleaner I have. It's pretty fancy. Any Dyson vacuum cleaner owners? It's like $500, right? How sad is this? The first couple months I owned it, I didn't know there was an extension for my tall self. So the first couple months I was like, hey, this thing sucks for $500. It really happens. Pretty embarrassing. It's just not a real job what I do. I know you're looking at me like this is all glamour and glitz and it's a fantastic backdrop, actually. A lot of times I do shows and there's like dartboards behind me. Anyway, you guys have real jobs, like 2 computer screens in your desk at the same time? Do people have that, right? That's so intimidating to me. Is that if like one computer breaks, you're like, don't worry, I have another one. I don't relate to how people make a living or why you deserve the money that you make at the position that you have. Because I've been a comedian forever, and I'm not bragging. It's just my ignorance. Like, you show up for work. Couple meetings, fill out a spreadsheet, couple phone calls, $100,000 a year. What is that about, right? In my job, I tell jokes for 10 minutes. I get half off chicken fingers. That's something I can relate to, right? Are people still working from home, which used to be I sell vape cartridges? Now it's like a real job, right? Yeah. Dress shirt, no pants, business on top, balls out. All right. There's good things about being a comedian. I'm not going to bitch about it. Like, I do have a lot of time on my hands, which is nice. I never use the phrase, oh, I would have to move some stuff around to describe scheduling. My life is so easy. I can move Tuesday like right into Wednesday. Be like, how's tomorrow at 2? I'm like, I'm available. I'm also available in a 24-hour period around that time you just gave me. Like, I'm the member of the family in the text thread. It's Monday at noon. Everybody's at work. And I'm like, hey, what's the HBO password? Like, I got nothing going on. There was a 3-alarm fire last summer on my street. Terrible. Burnt to the ground. Sirens everywhere. Smoke. Terrible. I'm in my bedroom getting high all day playing video games. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I'm the asshole neighbor that leaves my house at like 7 o'clock at night, and I'm coming out like, what the hell is going on over here? When did this thing start, huh? Like it was a surprise party that I wasn't invited to. You had a 3-alarm fire without me? I would have liked to see that. I didn't start the fire, but it was always burning. Okay. I don't even tell people I do comedy. I think it gets you in the worst conversations. I tell people I'm a writer. It seems to extinguish any kind of follow-up question. But the other day, this kid's like, oh yeah, what do you write? And I was like, tragedy, yeah. I was talking to my dad about like what I made last year. I was like, Dad, who makes that in the real world? Like, what's that job equivalent? And he was like, well, it's somebody who works at Home Depot overtime. I was like, that sucks. He goes, no, what'd you do all day? I go, nothing. And he goes, see? Nice. Cool. I have a smartwatch. It gives you positive affirmations throughout the day, like you did it, keep it going, put your pants back on, things like that. And I was in the middle of a 4-hour breakup in a hotel room. It was awful. It was like 10% sex, 80% arguing, 10% room service, so 20% fun if you're good at math. Finally, after 4 hours I break up with her, I'm overthinking everything. Was it the right decision? I'm out of my mind. She leaves me alone in the hotel room. I get up from bed, my watch vibrates, and I look down and it says, you did it. So I'm sort of in between girlfriends right now. That's assuming I'm gonna get another girlfriend. That's you assuming that I previously had a girlfriend. Relationships are hard. I just want to hold her hand while I cross the street and check my phone and use her like a seeing eye dog. Listen, I'm on the apps. It's horrible. The dating apps, it's horrible. I miss reading. It's terrible, right? OkCupid says has kids / doesn't want kids. Do your kids know about that? I get it. It means you don't want any more kids. Mine's has drugs, doesn't do drugs. I'm a drug dealer. But anyway, I was out with this girl the other day, or the other night, whatever. It's not even true. She goes, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were a friend of mine. I was like, that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. We can all agree on a first date it's not okay to bring up your ex, right? But what if she looks just like my ex? I mean, that's why I asked her out in the first place. You ever try to be friends with your ex? Has that ever worked out? Here's how much energy you want to give it. Ever get a Rubik's Cube, you finish one side of it, and then you look at the rest and you're like, fuck this. She's still using my parents' HBO account on her iPad? Should I A, have my folks cancel it immediately, B, cancel it after she finished the first season of Westworld, or C, cancel it at the second to last episode of the first season of Westworld? What do you think, folks? I love you screaming out C because I got a thing for Spanish chicks. But anyway, took me a couple months to write that one. No big deal. She was younger than me, which is cool. I like younger women because they're hotter longer. And they say you're supposed to date half your age plus 7 if you're a creep. And she always made me feel bad that I didn't own things in my apartment that like a normal 40-year-old should own. She'd be like, you don't have that? And then the next day I'd immediately run out and buy a defibrillator. And I think about death a lot, and it's because of all the crime documentaries on Netflix and HBO. First 48, Making a Murderer. I'm obsessed with these shows. I don't trust anybody anymore. I'm always trying to note the time. Why is that important in my life? I'm like, what's this guy doing? 12:51. My whole life is preparing for a police questioning that's never going to happen. I see this guy emptying out his trash. I'm like, he's clearly getting rid of evidence. He probably killed his whole family. Oh, wait, there's his family. Family, he's going to kill you. I saw this episode. First 48. Anybody watch that one? The first rule is don't live in Memphis. That's the first rule, right? When there's a missing person and they're looking in a river, that never ends up well, right? It's never a guy like, I was just swimming. How many killings does it take to become a serial killer? Asking for a friend. Does anybody know? 3 said by the serial killer over there on the left side. Good for you, though. Last night, somebody yelled out 7, which was a little dicey. But you're right, 3 killings to become a serial killer. Do you think after the second killing is like, if I just quit now, I don't have a problem? Or after the third killing is reminiscing back to the old days and you're just a normal killer. I just wish I could go back in time and just live and kill. Nice. Hey, where the hell did Santander Bank come from? Does anybody know what the hell I'm talking about here? I thought there were 5 major banks, and now Santander Bank is everywhere. It doesn't sound like a bank. It sounds like one of those English dry cookies your mom gave you as a kid. Tasteless, right? What kind of cookies are these, Mom? Oh, they're Santander cookies. They're butter cookies. Ugh. I looked it up in Spanish for fake-ass bank. Anyway. I live behind a Dunkin' Donuts, I'm not bragging, and so the rats in my neighborhood have a little bit of an attitude problem. I don't know if you've been to the city and seen the size of our rats. They're so big, they're not even afraid of us anymore. I'm like, is that a rat or a long-lost college friend of mine? I don't know the difference anymore. In Boston, you don't run over rats, you hit them. That's right. Coming home late the other night, almost like I disrupted these 2 rats' conversation midway, where they were like, I know the garbage is really good over, but... Anyway, the garbage is really good. That's not how this works. You're supposed to flee. I've been in the same apartment 19 years, which is pretty crazy. When we found the apartment, me and my roommate at the time were following the realtor in a brand new Cadillac, and as she drove down the street, she sideswiped 3 cars. Ripped the mirror off a car, kept driving. Me and my roommate are dying laughing in our car. We can't believe what just happened. And does she not hear that? What's she going to say when she gets out of her car? We get out of our car, she gets out of her car. She just looks at us and goes, so let's check out this apartment. What was I expecting her to say? Like, I hit them cars good. Real good. The cars, the parking, it's an issue in the city. I Uber a lot. Did you guys know more people are taking Uber to the emergency room than ambulances? Did anybody see this article in the Globe, right? Yeah, it's like $2,000 or $2,250. What the hell would you do, right? Sirens blaring or my Spotify playlist singing, sure. They're gonna have to write Uber backwards on all the cars. So that everybody knows that they're coming. It's Rebo, I did the work for you. How smart is this crowd here, huh? That'd be awkward on the way there. Why are we stopping? Oh crap, I hit the Uber pool button. This is embarrassing, huh? How's it going? Mind the blood. You go in the emergency room too? Stop talking to you? Okay. I pressed the wrong button on Uber and a limousine came and picked me up. I was so excited I dove into the limo. What a better way to show everybody you've never been in a limo before, by diving in, huh? If you get out of a limo with cargo shorts on, you don't deserve to be in that limo, right? I go, hey man, when you get to my apartment, don't pull right up in front because I paid rent 3 weeks late. If my landlord sees us roll up in a limo, it's going to be an issue. I took an Uber to take me to a bus, which is a weird way of traveling. It's like going from shrimp cocktail to hot dogs. It's not that classy. Second hot dog reference of the night. Keep track and get ready for the trifecta. But I get in the Uber. I go, South Station, bus terminal? He did the most folksy New England thing. He goes, taking the bus, are ya? My response was equally folksy New England. It was, yeah. I love that small talk in New England. I love it, right? If you don't know somebody's name in New England and like they're walking into a room, you can get away with this. There he is. There she is. The Queen of Quincy. All right. Do you guys consider good for you a compliment the way we say it in New England? Good for you. Oh, good for you. Oh, top of your class, Bunker Hill Community College? Good for you. It's good for you. You're not good. But if you ever want to get out of a conversation in New England, if you don't appreciate what somebody's talking about and you just want to leave, you just say this. There you go. Usually you're walking away from somebody when you say it. There you go. My buddy's like, yeah, my mother, she couldn't find her phone in bed. It turned out it was just stuck to her back. There you go. And there you go. I'm Dan Crohn. I love hot dogs. Good night, everybody. Take care. See you guys later. What a great group. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming out. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.